Avengers Endgame. What up, dudes? Welcome back to another video. My name is DB Geek, and yes, you've seen the title. I am going to be giving my review on the amazing Avengers Endgame movie. Now, before I say anything else, this is a completely spoiler-free review. I will not be giving any details of the story. I will not be telling you anything that's happened in the movie. I'm just going to give you my first thoughts and my honest opinions about this movie. First thing, did I like this movie? No, I did not like this movie. I fucking loved it. It was truly a masterpiece. It was, like I tweeted, as soon as I came out of the theater, the first thing I said was this, and I stand by it, is gonna go down as the greatest, or one of the greatest moments in entertainment history. And that is not an overstatement. That is the God honest truth from my own personal opinion. This entire 3 hours that we watched in the movies was an absolutely nail-biting, exciting and emotional roller coaster ride. It really was. Now, there's going to be many people out there that are going to say that there's nothing that's going to beat this movie. And honestly, I can probably be one of those people when I say that it's gonna be something spectacular, something out of this world in order to beat this film. Because this, to me, wasn't just a movie. This was a moment in history. This is something that has been built up over the last decade, and this was the holy grail to end it all. Now, before I keep going being super biased about this, the reason why I love this movie, the reason why I loved it to its absolute fullest potential, is simply because my knowledge of the characters before even the movies began. You know, I've watched all of the animated series growing up. Like, these were my heroes when I was a kid. You know, the likes of Spider-Man, the animated series, Iron Man, the Incredible Hulk, X-Men, the Fantastic Four, the Silver Surfer. These were all characters that I already knew and loved when I was a kid, and when the movies started, when Iron Man came into theaters, I was the most excited dude on the planet. This is probably the biggest thing to happen on TV for me, because Iron Man, the animated series, was one of my favorite Marvel series ever. I thought the character of Iron Man was a complete badass, and the first glimpse of the Iron Man trailer blew my mind, because not only did Robert Downey Jr. look like the character from the animated series and seemed like he was the perfect fit, the first glimpse of the Iron Man suit soaring through the skies just gave me extreme nostalgia memories. And I remember going into the theaters when the first day of release now, day one, Iron Man was released. This is before like midnight openings were a thing. And the day of release, I went to see this movie with my little brother, and I can honestly tell you this, the theater was nearly empty. There was nobody around. There was a few people around, but not a whole lot. And I was just in disbelief, but at the same time, it was believable because not many people knew who Iron Man was. Disney made a huge bold move introducing a character that's not very familiar to the world of entertainment and film in general. Iron Man wasn't a character that everybody knew. Of course, if you do the Spider-Man films, everybody has some sort of knowledge who Spider-Man is because, well, he's just one of those top-class superheroes that everybody is familiar with. But Iron Man, that was a risky move. But then the numbers started soaring, you know, the views were just up and up and up. People started talking about this, like this is probably one of the coolest superheroes I've ever seen. And that is what introduced the MCU, the beginning of it all. And now we're here, 11 years later, with Avengers Endgame, where everything that we've got in the past 11 years from all of these superheroes, from all of their origins, their own respective stories, their own respective motives, are all here in this absolutely incredible climax of a movie to end it all, to end this era of heroes that we've been introduced to and pave the way for the new generation, which they did very well in this movie. There's certain elements, there's certain scenes here and there that they paved the way for the next generation of heroes and movies, etc. Which by no means means that Avengers is over. It means Avengers, the ones that we've seen and loved over the past 11 years, yes, that is finished. That is an end of a major chapter in the superheroes, and now it's time for the next one. And the Russo brothers, you guys nailed it. Absolutely nailed it in every way possible. There's some seriously questionable moments to happen in this movie. I'm just going to say this right now. You're going to go in with theories all over your brain, thinking that you've pretty much predicted the movie. You see the trailers. And I remember sitting there in the cinema and I could hear somebody in the background before the movie started said, oh, they practically give away the movie in the trailers. You kind of know what's going to happen. So I'm not that excited. I could hear him say it in the background. He was just behind me and I was like, yeah, you know what? Maybe he's right, you know, because the trailers do show stuff. Hell no! They done it again, alright? They done it again. The trailers that they have released, yes, it seems like we have some sort of idea what's gonna happen here, but let me just say this, the first section of the film, you're gonna be scratching your head, you're gonna be like, well, that's out the window. What the fuck are they gonna do for the next 2 hours and 45 minutes? Because that is something that's very hard to do. It's very hard to keep a lot of this stuff under wraps, but they managed to do so. And when you're watching the film, you're kind of left in suspense because you don't know what's gonna happen, okay? As a super fan, I've been theorizing this with my friends or even in my own time, trying to think about what's gonna happen in this movie, trying to predict how they're gonna do this, how they're gonna bring everybody back, etc. There's some elements in there that are in the movie that is probably pretty obvious to most Marvel fans, but a lot of the plot, a lot of the storytelling in this movie is completely unpredictable. There's some scenes in this that I would never dream that I'd see. You know, it's incredible. You know, there's scenes in this that I never thought would actually happen in this movie, and it happens. And there's some very bold moves that the directors take with certain scenes, certain fight scenes, certain character interactions, but it's done very well. To the point where they managed to include almost every single character that played either a minor role or a major role in this movie. And that to me was pretty amazing. You know, it's not easy to fit every character that we've known for a very long time in this movie, and they managed to do it. Now, there is one character that didn't show up, which I find quite disappointing, but this character wasn't there. But I won't talk about that. That is a spoiler. But all in all, guys, my overall experience was absolutely incredible. I enjoyed every moment of this. This is gonna be one hell of an emotional roller coaster for you guys if you haven't seen it already. There's gonna be laughs. There's gonna be frights. There's gonna be tears. Lots of freaking tears. I mean, it's very hard to come out of this movie a happy person. I came out of this movie and I was utter depressed. You know, you would think, whoa, you come out super hyped and excited and happy, but I came out depressed as hell, a cage of emotions. I didn't know what to think, I didn't know what to feel, and I still feel that way today. You know, 2 days after seeing the film, I still feel super emotional every time I think back to some of the scenes that happened, and then I look back even further and I end up having a little giggle to myself because there's some seriously funny moments in this film. They do some things with characters in this that not everybody's gonna like, but honestly, I loved it, you know, because like I said, if you have little knowledge to characters' backgrounds and origins, if you've never read comics, etc., there's gonna be stuff in this film that you're gonna find very hard to kind of grab onto, because you have to understand the knowledge and the humor behind the characters and what they do with them in this film to really appreciate the comedy that they're trying to portray. Like for me, when it comes to the funny moments, they were downright hilarious because I could understand, you know, what they're kind of hinting towards with their respected origins of the characters. And in certain moments where some crazy out of this world far-fetched stuff happens, and then I realize, holy shit, if you look back to source material, that makes a lot of sense, and it just makes it a hell of a lot more epic. And as well as the emotional scenes. You know, if you don't have knowledge of these characters, if you haven't been following these characters for the past 11 years, they're not going to be as hard-hitting as they should be. But for me, I was bawling my eyes out. Ask my girlfriend. She was beside me. She was trying to console me. I was bawling my eyes out. And I can honestly say, this is the second movie I have ever cried to. Yep. I'm not afraid to admit it. There's one other movie that I cried to before in the past, and that was The Green Mile, starring Tom Hanks. And I never thought I'd cry to a movie ever again, but I was sobbing uncontrollably from this film. And it's because of everything that has happened over the last 11 years. It's because of how much these characters mean to me personally growing up when I was a kid, and just seeing everybody come together in this absolutely phenomenal ending to an amazing slew of awesome movies that have done nothing for me but made me happy and made me even more of a fan of film, movies, entertainment, and superheroes. I just wanted to say thank you to Kevin Feige and the Russo brothers, you know, Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth, Scarlett Johansson, Don Cheadle, like everybody that had something to do with this universe and this era of films. I honestly thank you from the bottom of my heart for just entertaining the world and making our dreams come true, having these characters on the big screen doing what they do best, and that is saving the world. Absolutely emotional. I'm getting emotional again just thinking about the fucking movie. Holy shit, man. How does a movie do that? Honestly, the greatest fucking movie I've ever seen in my fucking life, and it's gonna be a very long time before that opinion changes. Go see Avengers Endgame right now if you haven't seen it, because you are missing out. It is absolutely incredible. You're gonna have fun with it. Let me know down in the comment section below what you thought about it, what you didn't like about it, whatever. If you hated stuff in the movie, that's completely fine. If you love the movie, then you're on board with me. Just enjoy it, because this is one hell of a moment in history, entertainment history, that's never going to be topped for a very, very long time. Here's to the future of Marvel. Here's to the future of superheroes. Here's to the future of film. And again, thank you everybody that was involved. That's all I have time for, dudes. I hope this is kind of summarizes how I felt about the movie. Like I said, this is more than likely just going to be a biased opinion, because I am a huge super fan of all of superheroes and everything that's happened in this movie, everything that's happened in the past, and the characters in general. So, you know, if you don't like these opinions, that's totally fine. But if you did, make sure you leave a like. I greatly appreciate it. And of course, comment down below, like I said, your favorite moments. Maybe not your favorite moments. No spoilers. Scratch that. Do not comment your favorite moments. Let's keep the spoilers out of it. But just comment what you thought about the movie. Keep it as spoiler free as possible, because I want everybody to enjoy this movie. It's going to be another month or so before everybody really has seen this film. So make sure you don't spoil it on anyone, and just make sure everybody enjoys this movie and takes it in. Absolutely incredible. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, dudes, and as always, stay geeky, stay cool, be awesome, and be happy, and I'll see you dudes in my next video. See you later, dudes.